Thinking about doing HIPEC for your peritoneal mesothelioma and you're not sure what to expect, wondering if HIPEC surgery is dangerous. We interviewed one of the top HIPEC surgeons in the country to try and answer some of those questions. He has done over 750 HIPEC surgeries throughout his career. His name is Dr. Daniel Labow, and he leads the HIPEC program at Mount Sinai in New York. In today's video, I will go over some of the things that Dr. Labow shared with us in an exclusive interview with Surviving Mesothelioma. Hello, I'm Deborah from SurvivingMesothelioma.com, and for nearly 2 decades, we have been helping patients understand the various mesothelioma treatment options that are out there. We are also the publisher of the best-selling mesothelioma book, Surviving Mesothelioma. It was written by the world's longest-living peritoneal mesothelioma survivor. He was diagnosed before HIPEC even existed, and he lived for 27 years. Over 18,000 patients have grabbed their free copy, and you can get yours by clicking the link below. Well, what is HIPEC, and how does it work, and what can you expect? HIPEC stands for hypothermic intraperitoneal chemotherapy. It's a bit of a mouthful, right? Let's break it down. Hyperthermic means heated. Intraperitoneal means inside the abdominal cavity, and the chemotherapy is a type of cancer treatment using drugs. So HIPEC is basically a way to deliver heated chemotherapy directly into your abdomen. Dr. Daniel Labow says a HIPEC procedure involves the surgical removal of tumors that may be in the abdomen, as well as administering chemotherapy into the abdominal cavity. Why do they heat the chemo? So a study published in a medical journal called Caring for Mesothelioma Patients in 2019 said that heating the chemotherapy during HIPEC increases the cytotoxicity of the drugs that are used. So cytotoxicity is just a fancy way of saying cancer-killing effects. So heating up the chemo makes the chemo do a better job of killing the cancer cells. Why do doctors suggest that some mesothelioma patients have HIPEC surgery? Well, the vast majority of the time, the primary reason for doing HIPEC is to prolong survival, which is a fancy way of saying help you live longer. Okay, so what can you expect if you're going to have HIPEC surgery? According to the interview that we did with Dr. Labow, who's done more than 750 HIPEC surgeries, here's more or less what you can expect. First, your doctors need to decide if you are going to be able to tolerate the operation. The patient has to be physically fit enough to withstand the operation. If you seem to be a good candidate for the surgery, pre-surgery preparation starts. And sometimes patients do a bowel prep. Now, a bowel prep is when you clean out your bowels using a medicine before a medical procedure. You go for blood work, where they can often take 3 to 4 tubes of blood just to make sure that you're healthy enough for surgery. And then you are cleared for the surgery, and then you're evaluated by a doctor, and you have your tests done, such as an EKG, just to make sure that your heart is healthy enough for surgery. Okay, once you finish your pre-surgery preparation, next comes the day of surgery. All right. You now come into the hospital very bright and early in the morning, usually about 2 hours before the surgery starts. You're getting prepped for the surgery, and you change your clothes, you talk to the nurses, and then you go into the operating room with the anesthesiologist. They're gonna put you to sleep, and then the operation takes place. The operation is 4 to 6 hours on average. Now, it used to take 8 to 10 hours in the past, and that includes the 90 minutes of chemotherapy that is circulating. And don't worry, you're asleep for all of the surgery. Now, there are 3 main parts of a HIPEC surgery. 1, surgeons remove as much visible cancer as they can from your abdomen. And then this is called the cytoreductive surgery. And then 2, they're gonna pump a heated chemotherapy solution into your abdominal cavity. And this solution is circulated for about 90 minutes. And this is just to maximize the effectiveness of the chemotherapy on the cancer and to minimize side effects of chemotherapy. 3, the solution is just drained out, the surgery is completed, and you are taken back to the ward. When most patients wake up, they don't really remember much of the first day after surgery because they're certainly really groggy. And then you're in the hospital recovering. You may have different tubes, sometimes a tube in the nose, a catheter in the bladder, and a bunch of IVs. And as you begin to recover, those tubes are removed one by one over the next few days. And then as time goes on, while you're recovering in the hospital, you're gonna be moving a little bit more, you're gonna start to eat a little bit. And then by the time you get to post-operative day 5 to maybe 7, you're starting to regain more of your functions. And then finally around day 7 to 9 is when you're likely to go home. And there you have it. That is what you can expect if you are going to have a HIPEC surgery. If you'd like the full interview with Dr. Daniel Labow, plus extra information on HIPEC for mesothelioma, please get our free guide by clicking the link in the description below. I'm also gonna leave a link there for the book, Surviving Mesothelioma, written by the world's longest living peritoneal mesothelioma survivor. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.